What's up, everybody? I am Legend, and today's upload is going to be the return of Track Out Tuesday to show you guys how I made Taylor Swift's I Forgot That You Existed instrumental in about an hour in Machine. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pull up the songs from her new album, Lover. Immediately I noticed that the track was heavily based on a very simple piano loop and a very simple drum pattern, just snaps. And then later on there's like some 808s that come in, but we want to start with that piano loop. So what I did was I found particularly this upright piano in Contact. This is something that is very heavily used in songs by people like Macklemore, Taylor Swift. It's kind of like a poppy based piano. So I basically found that chord progression with the upright piano, and we came up with this. In addition to that, there is a vocal that is looping as well, kind of like a, I don't know if it's an actual person singing or if it's like a VST that they have of like vocals that they're just pressing. Sounds like it's actually Taylor singing, maybe with a low pass filter. So I went ahead and used this tool called Arcade. And basically what Arcade is it's a VST that has a whole bunch of different lines, is what they call them in kits or whatever, loops, from vocal loops and different sounds you can play to guitars to world drums and different strings and guitar, just all different kinds of stuff. But they have this vocal one called Hooked, kind of try to play the same sounding vocals within this VST as they did in the song, and I was able to basically achieve it for the most part. That came in really useful, and I'll just play that with the add my snaps. Hey. So it's really starting to come together and sound like the actual song. This is a very rough mix and master and everything. I didn't get the reverb and all that stuff exactly the way it should have been, because I literally made this beat within 1 hour that the song was released. So don't go too wild in the comments. This was a rushed job, as all these instrumentals usually are. But yeah, so I messed around with Arcade. I got that. I added the low pass filter to kind of give it that more muffled tone that it has in the actual song. So originally, this VST sounds like this. Sounds a little bit cheesy and like a duck is quacking at you or whatever. So I put the low pass filter, drug the cutoff down a little bit here in Machine, and you can do the same thing in any program. It's just different steps, but did that, added a reverb. Boom. Okay, and that repeats basically until it gets to this little like lead into the chorus where the chords walk down. Boom, and then right back into the chorus, which is basically the exact same loop as this, but it adds a little bit more to the track that differentiates the chorus from the verse. So like how I say in all my videos about instrumental production, when it comes to the structure of the song, in the verse or the chorus, whichever way you want to play it out, you want to either add to the chorus or take away from the chorus to give a differentiation. If you're just doing loops throughout the entire song, add something to the chorus that's going to differentiate that from the verse, or take away something from the chorus that's going to be in the verse, so that it's like either you minimize it or you maximize it. And this goes the maximizing route, and it just adds like a bass, some horns, and some more drums. So here we add this Fallen Sign, this 808, one of my favorite drums. Yeah, and then those very simple 808. You notice how these drums are very minimal, and it keeps the attention on the vocals of Taylor and the what's being said in the song, the melody of the chorus. You don't have to bog it down with all this crazy like like people like to do the triplets on their trap drums and things like that. Sometimes, you know, simple is better. So she went the simple route this time. And of course, it's not a trap song, so it's not going to have trap hi-hats. But yeah, so you did that. We added the jazz guitar because there's like a little tick, 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 tick in the background, so it sounds. And I added a beat delay with a 3/16 time delay so that there's like those little echoes in between the blank spaces, because if this delay was not here, jazz guitar would sound like this. Very dry. But if you add the delay, it kind of adds a little bit more groove to it. So that's something I like to do in my music production, is if there's like too much dry space in between like notes or a loop or whatever's going to happen, I like to add like a beat delay or reverb or something that's going to add some type of sound in between those dry spaces so that it doesn't sound so dry, and it kind of gives it a little bit more of a groove, especially with the beat delay. It kind of helps with especially with guitars. I noticed that is something that helps to make it seem like somebody is really strumming, because obviously I'm not playing a real guitar in here. I'm playing a VST with the keyboard. So you want it to sound as much like a realistic strumming pattern as possible, so that beat delay does actually help. And also, if you really pay attention, there is a very slight horn that comes in the chorus. It's in the background, kind of mixes it very well to give it a little bit more oomph when that bum, bum, bum. So I found a baritone sax in Contact. Again, Contact is going to be one of your best friends to find all these really great, like realistic sounding VSTs and real instruments. Reverb added to all of these, so it's not so dry. And then of course, lastly, we have the vocal part that I play out. The verse and the chorus repeat, the same thing happens, and then once again we come out here to the lead up of the second chorus. But you'll notice there's an added guitar. Now, the strumming patterns are not going to be the same, because obviously I'm playing with a VST. It's not going to have the same strumming pattern as a regular human, because I wasn't able to play it myself. But it's good enough. So one of my favorite things to do when I'm replicating guitars in remakes of other people's songs is Contact and Native Instruments has this guitar session strummed acoustic, I believe it's what it's called, and this is going to give you a bunch of different variations of strumming patterns, from country ones to pop ones to funky ones. Right now I have the funky one set, to bluegrass, like all different kinds of strumming patterns that you can apply to your songs to kind of get the feel. However they did it, it works really well. So you get that really clean strumming pattern. So even if you don't know how to play a guitar, this is going to be one of your best friends for creating guitar-based tracks. And I hope you guys learned something from it. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you'll be notified every time I upload a brand new video. As always, stay legendary. Let's go.